Hi, I am Jerry Wheeler, and I am a independent Usborne Books and More consultant. And tonight, I am going to be showing you some of my family and I's favorite books. I've got a number of them, so I'm going to make it as quick as I can, but I'm very excited. So this one is new to our family. I just got this, the Pop-Up Jungle, and it is so cute. It has some the great things that pop up, the little monkey swings, the alligator chomps. My kids actually stuck their finger in there and I chopped their finger down, and it actually hurt a little bit, but not too much. Don't worry about them. This is another new one to our household that I just got that's called Then and Now, and it just talks about like what the world was like at the turn of the century and what it's like now, and shows them like what it looked like on the street and ask them some questions to help them point out some of the differences. My older son Dylan, who's 8, and I went through it, and we really enjoyed it together. And one of the things that he found most interesting was how farming has changed. The number of people that it took to run a farm at the turn of the century versus the number of people that it takes to run the farm now, and how much it has changed. It's a much smaller number. I won't give it away. Another good one, I Want to Be an Astronaut. This one is so cute. I love this book. There's another one in this series that's called I Want to Be a Lion Tamer. It has jobs that are animal related. I haven't read that one, but this one is all adventure job related. The main character is a girl. The boy is in this one. On the other one, the main character is the boy and the girl is in there. I have 2 boys, and I didn't realize that it was a main character boy, but I still love it, and he doesn't mind. We're girl power. So a race car driver, an archaeologist, a deep sea diver. Of course, the astronaut is in there. It is a really cute book, and it's a board book, so it's good and sturdy. It's great for your great bright pictures for your new reader. This is another great book that we love. Not so new to us, but we really enjoy it. It's called There's a Mouse About the House, and it has a little mouse that you slide through the pages, and he moves along the story. And this is great for the beginnings of writing and the beginnings of reading as well, because you hold the mouse like you would hold a pencil, and you slide him from left to right. Then he goes into the next page, and that's the way that you would read, left to right, and you would write left to right. And so it just gets their brain going that way. And it's super cute. The story is really cute. There's another one in this one about a squirrel. There's a squirrel in the tree. Really super cute books. Very interesting. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. Another book. This is seriously like one of my favorite books of all time. Nibbles. I recommend this to every hostess when she has any extra money left over that she didn't realize she was going to have. And so Nibbles is a little monster who loves to eat books. And in the beginning, we find him in his cage, but he nibbles his way through a multitude, well, not a multitude, but he nibbles his way through a few books in this story, old classics. And my older son Dylan actually got to bring this to school. They were learning about fairy tales at school, and so he got to bring this and share it. So he goes through Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and Little Red Riding Hood. But the author of this did such a great job, because in these little books that are inside, like how he changed the story, even when he bit this out, it changes the story here, and it's so cute. I really enjoyed this. We laughed and laughed, and there's a surprise ending that I won't tell you about. Another great book that we have is The Ted and Friends. This is a phonics reader. Has some fold outs. Not every story has one. So also when you look at it from the side, the pages aren't quite even. It's so the little hands can turn the pages easily, and also because some of the fold out. So don't be alarmed by that. I love this book because it's a compilation book. It has about 12 stories in it that are all phonics, for phonics readers, just like rhyming sounds. Let's see if I can find one for you. There's like a Ted in bed. So just all the Ted, bed, Fred, that kind of stuff. And then in the back for each book there is phonics. It has some pronunciations, has if they're using blends, if it was a long A or a short A sound. So that's really good for helping the parents to know what they're focusing on, to find the right book, and to help them, when you're teaching your child how to read. Dan Dan the Taxi Man. I love this book. It's very musical. You almost have to kind of like scat when you read it. So this one. Here's Maureen with her tambourine. Shake a shake crash. Shake a shake crash. And here comes Dan, beep beep the taxi man, going to the show and picking up the band. Climb inside while you still can with Dan, beep beep the taxi man. And you go through some different instruments, the saxophone, the bass, and you have to kind of make the sounds as you're going. And it's just really, really cute. I enjoy this one. This is also the gentleman who wrote this also wrote Too Many Tomatoes and Busy Trucks Around the Town, I believe. I haven't read those yet, but they're on my list. So now to some nonfiction, and I'm a nonfiction girl. I read a lot of fiction, but I love nonfiction, and especially for the kids, because I grew up reading, Encyclopedia Britannica. So these are in order pretty much of the way that you might give them to your child. This is a beginner nonfiction, then a little bit further along. My big boy, who's 8, he reads them both, and he enjoys them. I enjoy them all too. This one is hardcover. These ones are kind of a little bit of a flex binding, which I like. The flex binding is probably one of my favorite bindings that we have, because it's hard enough to be sturdy, but soft enough that it's not so heavy. So I really like that. And then our Usborne Spotter's Guide. So this is kind of like for your adventure kid. So if I'm a hiker, we go camping and hiking, and so have one on wildflowers, trees, birds. Wish there was one on butterflies, weather dogs. So, and then this is a little bit more advanced. It has a little bit more detail in it about the rocks. My son loves rocks. He's always picking rocks up anywhere. He wants to bring them home because they are for sure a treasure. My first story writing book. This is great. My big boy is a writer. He loves to write, and so we got him this book, and it just has some prompts and ask them to draw pictures. And it's just great. This is him, what he says he's going to look like, I think, when he's old. Creature clothes. So he says he's angry. So I think that's him when he's old, and he's going to be an angry old man. This is seriously, I'm showing you all my favorite books, and so I'll tell you they're all my favorites, but I really enjoyed this one, and I think this is a good book for anybody, even for the man in your life, because this could be like great throne reading. It teaches you about everything. I learned how an internal combustion engine worked. I never knew that. Teach roller skates, vacuum cleaner, the dishwasher, chocolate, how zippers work, how Velcro works, electricity. This is just great information. We went camping, and I had brought a ton of books, but this was the book that me and my husband and my son were all bidding so that we could have our time to read this book and get through. And we're like, who's on which page? Have you gotten to here yet? So it's really cute. This series also has the story of science and the story of astronomy, and I haven't read the other two, but I totally recommend this one, and I'm sure that the other ones are just as amazing as this. Olga de Paloga, story about a guinea pig, and it's written by the same author who wrote Paddington Bear. It has just great illustrations. It's just such a great story. Look at her. Guinea pigs are so cute too. And it has a great cover. My oldest one read this. He did the AR test on it. He really liked it. Even though it's a big hardbound book, he put it in his backpack every day and brought it to school with him until he was done, and he enjoyed it. And I've been reading it with our younger son at nap time. Coding for Beginners. Dylan, my year-old, just started doing this, and it just warmed my heart to see him at the computer you know, he made a video game last night, Cat and Mouse, and he's just been so proud of himself. And I feel like this is like the wave of the future. Like, I should be reading this book and doing the coding, because that way I can be better on the computer. I think that that's what you're going to code your own stuff soon. Activity books, the dry erase books are really nice. They have a nice pen. If you lose your pen or it dries out or whatever, then I like the dry erase crowns that you can just buy at the store. They're a good replacement, and I like them maybe a little bit better because marker gets on your furniture sometimes, so that's a good alternative. And then last but not least this is my coloring book, and we have them for kids, we have them for adults, we have all kinds of patterns, probably anything that you could want to color, I could accommodate you in some way. But this one is just so cool. Look at the fashion and like 50s and wedding clothes, purses, like, you know, this is like this is a wave of the future. This is a new therapy. So to sit down quiet with your glass of wine and color your coloring book and leave your cares behind. So I thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and happy reading.